The JLT V3 Oil Separator is a catch can setup with even more holding capabilities than previously offered through JLT, and it plugs into the intake track, and it's a great way to protect an engine. It's a simple mod that does some good for all applications. You don't need to have a forced induction setup to be able to utilize a catch can, but in the case of the turbocharged EcoBoost, it's especially important. A catch can might not be one of the first mods that's on your list, or it may not even be on your list at all, but it's a very functional piece that has benefits to it, and it can do good for even a completely stock motor. I'll talk more about the install later, but I'm gonna call this one a 1 out of 3 wrenches in the difficulty meter. So if we go back to the process of an internal combustion engine for a second, I can explain the benefits of an oil catch can like this one here. So the ignition of the air and fuel mixture inside of the combustion chamber is ignited, and it forces the piston downwards. There is a small amount of mixture that leaks past the piston rings and into the crankcase. This is known as blowby, and in that blowby there's an oil mist. The blowby and oil mist will settle in the intake, and over time they're gonna form a gunky buildup. Now technically speaking, there can also sometimes be condensation along with the oil mist in the blowby, and if you let all of this hang out, worst case, this stuff can make it into the oil inside of the crankcase. This is not a good thing, and it's considered oil contamination and dilution. So you've got your PCV valve to help fight this issue. A PCV valve alone has its own list of weaknesses, and engines have regulations as far as emissions go, so the current setup as far as crankcase ventilation systems means that an engine will have detonation or knock when oil is in the combustion chamber. If the knock sensors pick this up, they're gonna pull timing, and that's never a good thing. Another thing that happens is carbon buildup on the piston tops and the valves as well. Enter into the scene the oil separating catch can. It's gonna push these gases, the blowby and the oil mist and condensation, through a baffle system that's gonna trap the oil and separate it from the other gases. The gases are gonna be allowed to continue through the intake so that they can be burned off, and the oil will stay inside the catch can so it doesn't move on and cause issues for the engine. So this is a single can that mounts on the driver's side of the EcoBoost on the strut tower. Inside, there's a new multi-stage filter that's going to separate the oil from the air and the other gases. The filtering process consists of a fine mesh screen, which then passes oil vapors through an aluminum honeycomb filter. The can itself can hold 3 ounces of fluid, and you'll notice that the better catch cans actually catch pretty much oil, so the larger capacity of this can means that you won't be having to empty it all the time. You go a little bit longer in between servicing, and the bottom of this can just unscrews when you want to empty it. It's sealed with O-rings so it won't leak at all. The kit is going to include everything that you need for the install here. You have your mounting bracket so you can mount this, and it's going to be positioned so the can is in an easily accessible area. So when you do need to empty it, it isn't going to be a fight. It's also going to come with direct fit silicone hoses that have some pre-installed stock style quick disconnect fittings, which make the install easy. It'll be completely plug and play. It doesn't get any more straightforward than this. And the can itself is a billet aluminum can that's sealed like I mentioned earlier, and of course powder coated black. As far as price, you're looking at spending between $100 and $200 for this catch can. Now one thing I will say about catch cans in general is to be wary. You want to make sure that you're getting a good one that'll trap as much oil as possible. Some catch cans are just an empty container with a few ports, but these kinds are not going to condense oil vapor and trap as much oil as possible. You want to make sure that the catch can has an internal baffle and collection system like this one does. So the install here is really pretty easy. You're looking at spending an hour tops, and it's going to be a 1 out of 3 wrenches in the difficulty meter. Just need some basic hand tools to get this all done, and I'd start by disconnecting your stock line from the PCV valve under the intake manifold on the engine block and behind the throttle body. You can route the hoses under the intake for the fitting that's right behind the throttle body, and the rear hose down towards the engine mount. All the hoses will just snap into place after you have them ran, and that's all it's going to take. Mount the separator assembly to the bracket, getting your mounting bracket into place. Wrapping things up here, the JLT oil catch can is a fast and easy way to protect the motor of the boosted S550 from blowby. You can check it out more online right here at AmericanMuscle.com.